Hello guys and welcome back to Telex Academy. So this is going to be our final project for the JavaScript crash course. Like I said in the last video, I said the last thing we'll be working on is what the calculator. So I already have a simple design here that I would like to work with. So I'm having this first div as the black background. Then I'm having this input for this box here we're seeing. We're also having what every other the div here I'm having now. I'm having every single buttons I have here. Let's say like my C, my 9 and all, every one of these guys are what I put into this div. Now let's jump into it now. Now the very first thing I want to show you guys now is this. As you can see in my input, I'm adding something called what? Disabled. I mean, once I come here, I can't actually like come here and type anything in it actually, unless I what remove this what disabled. Now for removing disabled, I can say I can tell what type things into it, but I don't want that to happen. I don't want anybody to be able to like type into this guy. I want only you to I only want the users to like actually like click on buttons before things to actually what appear here. Now the first thing we'll to do now is this. Now remember, this is where we're going to use the functions. We're going to use what? We're going to use DOM also. Now the very first thing I want to do, I want to make sure these numbers, this operator actually appears inside this box. Now how do we do this? The very first thing to do now is what? Is to declare your function. So I will say on click, I will say the function of what? Display, right? So let's have this guy. So let's say I want this modulus division to show what? To display on the screen, right? So I could actually do it that way. So I'm just, let's copy these guys and put wherever we want. So I want my 9 also to be the same, my 8, my 7, my plus, my, so continuously that way. Keep on having this here on click. As you can see, I skipped the one for C and X, meaning because I don't want C to actually display and I don't want the X to actually display. Therefore something else. I want this C to actually clear the whole content, and I want this X to actually clear like one by one. Imagine writing 64 and I don't want to clear the whole thing. I don't want to clear the 4 rather than the 64. I use this X, and I want to clear the whole stuff. I use C. Now I could add more here on click. On click, so continuous layout on click, on click, and on click. Okay, we don't need on click for this equal to, because it's another function entirely we'll be using for that. Now let's do this now. I'll be using the internal JavaScript for us, so let's try using the external one now. So I created a file called calculator.js. Now inside it now I will say this display. Before we say this, we say function, right? Function, I will say display, right? Now I'm saying this document dot get element by id of what? Now we're trying to like get this box of what? Main. Now I'm saying dot value, new is empty. Now I'm saying plus equal to, now a. Now this a now is my parameter here. So meaning anything you click on, then I click on 9, so meaning inside my HTML I should be having something like this already here. Yeah, I should be having something like here where I'm having display. This display for what? Modulus. So I could say I'm meant to have something like this in it. So now these guys are what? Are my arguments, right? This a is my what? My parameter. So now I'm saying dot value plus equal to what? A, any dot plus equal to what? A equal to what? The parameter. So now it's actually what getting was here, which is what the modulus, then it will actually what display it. So the same way with every other one, I could just say this. I could say the division, let's say 9, 8, 7 addition, then 6, 5, 4, 3, then I have 2, I have 1, then I could have subtraction here. So here I could have 0, and here I could have what? Dots. Now let's come back here and let's see how our code runs. So we could be having this now, let's say 9. What's actually happening? So let's link this guy to what? Our HTML file. So say script src, then what? The name of the file is what? Calculator.what.js. Right? Now we refresh now, say 9. Okay, something's wrong. Let's refresh. Now our code is not working. Why? So let's come back here to find out. Now this is because we haven't given a set. We're calling now, we're saying this here. We're saying document of what? Get element by ID of what? Of main. So now I'm calling this guy main, but actually I haven't actually what? Given it the ID of what? Of that main itself. So I will just come back here and say what? Main. Now this way I'm saying 9 now. As you can see, it's actually appearing, but the color is not bright enough. So let's say color, let's say white smoke. Yeah. So we'll say the font weight, let's say 900. So now if you do this now, as you can see, we're seeing every one of these numbers. I could say like plus, division, modulus, every one of these guys what is appearing. But now the thing is that none of this is not, I cannot actually calculate what I'm actually writing here. Now that's the first part, displaying, right? Now the next part for us to go into now is how do we actually solve this stuff? Like how do we actually solve the content inside the box? Now let's come in now and give a function name to our equal to now. Let's say something like solve. So we say on click of what? Solve. Right? So now if you come to this now, you can now say function of solve. Now I'm saying this, right? I will say let a equals what? Document dot get element by ID of what? Of main dot value, meaning like get anything that's inside what? Inside this main. Now after doing that now, I say this. I say let b equal to what? Equal to this. I could say let b equal to eval. This is a method in JavaScript. So I'm saying eval a. It's actually evaluate anything that's inside this. I'm actually asking to evaluate anything that's inside what? Inside a. Now remember the last one we did was we're saying like two different input box. The first input box was asking like input your first number, whereas the second one was asking to like input your second number before we actually click on the addition button or the subtraction button and all. But now with just this eval now, I can actually like do everything in just one single function, and I can actually just write different ones. And actually, let's say I want to do subtraction, addition, every one of it at the same time. I could actually do that with what? With this just single function of what? Solve. Now inside it now we are just having what? Let a equal to what? Document does what? Get element by ID main. Get what's inside this box for me at first. Then I'm saying let b equal to what? Eval, meaning evaluate anything you have gotten from this what? From this guy. Now let's try this guy out. So I'm saying, okay, before it can work, we need to say this. Return what? Document dot get element by id of what main. So I'm returning back into that place, and I'm saying dot value now, that meaning the new value now is equal to what? B. So now if we run this guy now, say 9 plus 9, now we should be having what? 18. You get me? So I'm saying let's refresh. 9 times 9, sorry, okay, that doesn't refresh. 9 multiplied by 9, no, 9, there's a mistake here. Our multiplication is giving 4 and our 4 is giving the wrong thing. So let's come back here to fix that. So let's come back. Where do we have 4? So now here we're meant to have multiplication here, then here we'll be having what? 4. So we come back, we actually have this now. 9 multiplied by 9, you can say what? We're having what? 81. This is how this guy works. Now the next part we want to that we're going to be adding now is this clear and what? That is like the delete and what? And the clear. Now when we say this x now, x actually like delete one by one. We don't actually want it to what? Delete one by one. Let's say I'm having it to 1 now. I don't want to delete the 1. I could just say x to delete just one of it. Then I could write something else. Then I'll just delete a single value also. But now if I'm saying this c now, this is actually was to clear the whole, so like to delete the whole content of the main. Now let's move. The first one we'll be looking into now is the clear. So let's say this. For this now I could just give a function. Say function what? Del. Let's say del here. So coming back to my JavaScript, I say this now. Function del this way. Now what I need to say, I'll say what? Document dot get element by id dot main. Sorry, we don't need this guy here. Dot value now. Dot value equal to this empty string. Meaning the when someone clicks on this button now, I want to what? I want to return this. I want to return document what? Document dot get element by id of what? Of main. But what? I want the content of this main to come what? To come empty. And I'm saying 9. I'm saying plus 7 equal to 16. Then I say this clear. I'm saying 9 plus, I say clear. It clears what's there already. Now for the last one now, we said the one we have now is the what? The single delete button, which is what? The X. Now I could say this. I could say on click, let's say backspace. Let's call it backspace. Now here I'll just come back here and say this function backspace. Right. So the first thing I'll be doing now, I could say let a equal to document of what? Get element by id of what? Of main dot value, any value that is inside. And the next thing I will now say is what? Return document dot get element by id of what? That same main. But this time around I'm saying what? Dot value is equal to what? E. Now not just a, I'm saying a dot what? Dot slice. Now starting from 0 and ending with minus 1. So now if I come back here and say 9 plus 8 and I just say x, okay, well I haven't reached it. Let's refresh our browser to see again. So let's say 9 plus 7 equal to what? 16. Then I can just say I remove one of this value or delete the whole thing. I'll just say 875. Then I can do what? Delete. So that I can say 9.0 plus 7 sorry plus 7.5. I was saying this as what 16.5. Now I could say modulus 5 or something. Now exactly the same, continuous like this. This is how we build a calculator with JavaScript. So thank you guys. I hope we actually understood everything we have gone through the course. I'll actually drop the link to this to the Git repository for this whole course, so you can actually like practice on each one of these code we have actually like work on. Thank you guys.